All right, everyone. So this is going to be a quick video. I've got my American flag pants on. I should have my like QAnon Shaman hat, but we're going to talk about the footage that they recently released of the January 6th riot at the Capitol. I'm going to play a quick clip from Tucker Carlson showing the QAnon Shaman in the Capitol, basically being led around by Capitol Police as we suspected.
Contrast the reality of what Jacob Chansley did in the Capitol building on January 6th, the indisputable facts recorded on video, some of which has never before been seen, with the depiction of Jacob Chansley that you've seen in the media for more than 2 years.
All right, so not shocking to me. I feel like we all knew this already. Now, of course, they had like 18,000 hours of video footage that they were refusing to release. This man, who is apparently a veteran, is still in prison. They said nearly four, sounds like about a little bit over 3 years after the fact. Absolutely crazy. They have all these January 6 committees, they have propaganda being played on mainstream media, all kinds of things like that. Personally, this is one of those reasons why I don't go to like in-person protests, because you just never know. Like, I always want to be as vigilant as possible. You don't know what you're walking into. This man walking around the Capitol obviously looked like he had no idea that he was going to have any type of repercussions from this. He's just walking around being led by police officers. I didn't pay too much attention that day. I happened to be at work. I was still working in the hospital then. So I don't know the exact timeline. I know that a woman was shot by Capitol Police. I'm not sure. And somebody, please let me know in the comments if you know if this was before or after. Now, granted, if somebody had already been shot and killed and the event had escalated to that level, if I was this QAnon shaman guy, I would not go walking into the Capitol after that. That seems like the situation needs to end. Obviously, something very sinister is going on if somebody has already been shot and killed and you're being allowed to enter the Capitol. Is that the case? I don't know. I'm not sure if he was maybe the first person in there and that happened afterwards. Like I said, someone let me know in the comments. But the whole thing, obviously he doesn't look like he is like in one part, and I don't think I shared this part of the clip, the Tucker Carlson clip. The Capitol Police officer is literally opening the door for him. He's walking in front of him, like leading him in a direction. So it just is it has just very bad vibes to me, obviously, that, our government would basically set somebody up like this and then get them in trouble later. Obviously, we know there's also been some really crazy stuff with like deaths of these Capitol Police officers, whether suicide or, just untimely, like I think one had like a heart issue or something like that, like pretty close to like right after these events took place. As a conspiracy theorist, of course, I can never even say, is the QAnon shaman guy, is this a real story? Did this really happen? Is this all a setup? Is this all media propaganda? I don't know. Okay, I'm not going to say that it is. I'm not going to say that it is, because we're not allowed to question anything that we're told. I know people can get very offended by that. I could end up getting sued for, 57 trillion bajillion dollars, and I'd have to sell my cats like Alex Jones. But I always take everything I see in the media with a grain of salt. When it looks very suspicious, I always tend to wonder to myself, how real are all these stories? If these Capitol Police officers mysteriously died, did they actually? Or are they made up people? I ask those questions. You're not supposed to ask those questions. So don't be like me, okay? Because you're getting in trouble. You're not supposed to question. You don't want to get sued. But I always ask myself those questions when I look at anything that seems super fishy from mainstream media. So I don't know. We're going to continue to follow this story. Obviously, it's unfolding strangely in just the way that you would expect it to. There's a lot of outrage around it. And sometimes I'm guilty of the person to be like, is this really even news? We already knew this, but it is news and it is worth covering, it's worth talking about, because no matter what direction the scenario actually goes in, whether it's like fake propaganda, which I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying, you know, sometimes fake propaganda could have happened in the past, like in history and stuff, to trick people. Um, or whether or not it's true and the government is really like basically having conspiracies to like set people up like this and then get them in trouble and put them in prison. No matter which direction it goes, it's very creepy. So we're going to continue to cover this story, but that is all I have for today. Thank you for checking out my channel. If you liked this piece of content, please hit subscribe. If you have any positive comments, please leave them below. If you have any negative comments, please leave them below. We are equal opportunity comment readers here. Okay. So if you write something negative, if it's good, I'll take the feedback into account. If it's mean, I'll just cry about it later. So, but y'all have a fantastic day, and I'm going to be back soon.